All right, welcome back. Rose City Realtor After Dark. I've got Kevin Silk Nugget.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Okay, I've got
Sliker.
Kevin Sliker here.
Yes.
Kevin Sliker, thank you so much for
Yes.
making the commute. I appreciate it.
Thanks
As
for
you know,
having
this is
me.
Jables, Jeremiah Bullock with Engel and Volkers. I can say sponsored. They were not by the global company.
Yes.
But by the local Portland and England Volkers. This is our representation. Thank you so much for giving us the studio, and thank you again for tuning in. This is the second episode in a 6-episode series. We're going to be going over things that mortgage lenders don't often tell you. So if you are in the market for buying a home, or you intend to buy a home at any point in your life, which means you're probably over 35. No, I'm kidding. If you're intending to buy a home in your life, this episode is going to be very valuable for you. So stay tuned. We're going to go over a couple of questions. Let's start with everyone's. Oh, you know what? Question for you, Kevin. Mm-hmm. I was having a conversation with somebody yesterday, and they had come to me, seeking a pre-approval, and so I reached out to my lender, and they attempted to get pre-approved and didn't. So they didn't get pre-approved. They make a lot of money, right? Decent amount of money, so that's somewhere in the 6-figure range. And they had told me the reason why they went out is because their friend who's a server who makes half as much as them got pre-approved the week before. So let me ask you this. As somebody who I don't own a home, right? I don't own a home. I've never tried for a pre-approval, but as somebody who knows nothing about this, how can that happen, right? So they make half as much as them. How did they get approved and the other person, who makes all this money,
Yeah.
got denied?
It's a good question. Income isn't everything is the answer to that.
Okay.
I always give people the acronym, especially realtors too, when you're talking to people trying to see are they possibly able to buy a home? I always tell realtors you want to have all three of these things. If you have 2 of the 3, we could probably still make it work. But if you're missing 2 out of the 3, it's probably not going to happen. But
Okay.
The acronym is ICE: income, credit, and equity. Maybe I should change the acronym.
We're going to have to bleep that.
We're gonna have to change the acronym soon. I is for income, C is for credit, and E is for equity. Equity could be like cash, assets, or equity in a home. So income between the 2 friends, sure, maybe one makes more than the other, but maybe the one who made less has better credit and has more of a down payment, so they qualify for more.
So then, would you say out of these 3, that credit is the heaviest of the factors?
Credit is a bit, that's a tough one. Maybe income is, honestly, because it's really hard.
Yeah,
it's hard to change income, right? Like if you make $24 an hour, you can go to your boss and be like, hey, I want to raise. You may or may not get it. Credit, you can fix with time or you can fix with money. And then for equity or assets, you can always get a gift. You can always ask a family to help you out. So I feel like income is probably the harder one to fix.
Very malleable.
Yeah.
Interesting. Very interesting thought position. You heard it here. You got bad credit, or you got a house that needs a little bit of work, you still might get it. But if you're poor, then you're poor.
Mm-hmm. That's your main shot.
Main shot. This is the main shot.
This is going to be the
main shot, side shot. Got it. All right.
So if you ever have a doubt, look to this one. You know what I'm saying? If you ever have a doubt in your mind, just look to this because it's going to be the main shot. Yep.
Okay, so this is the one that we're going to be.
Yep.
This is the one we're editing from. Okay. Yep. Yeah, so you heard it here. If you got good credit or bad credit, this is malleable, or an asset, which is again malleable. It's a shitty house. You can fix it. Awesome. You're still probably going to get approved, but if you're poor, let's try again. Let's try and make that a little bit better. If you can. Things are tough. I get things are tough right now. Not to be said. Now, this is a good one, and this one, I think, comes from a lot of us younger people who are interested in purchasing a home or thinking about purchasing a home. Is it? I don't want to say the word illegal. Is it suspicious to accept a gift and use that towards trying to acquire this loan, or even as a down payment, right?
Yeah,
So is
no,
that
no.
suspicious to a lender?
No, we actually like it. We prefer it. It's one of the easier things to work around. Getting a gift from family, so you can use that towards down payment. You can use it
Okay.
towards closing costs.
And
Say-
let's break down exactly what a gift is. Like let's expand on that, right? Because
Yeah.
maybe some of you guys are really young. Maybe you're 19, 20, 21. You're in a really good position. You got good credit. You got good money. What is
What is
that
a gift?
entirely? What is a gift?
So let's say you're going to buy a home and your down payment's $12,000 and tack on another $10,000 for closing costs. You need
Okay.
$22,000, but you don't have it. Maybe you only have 10. You ask your aunt, uncle, brother, cousin, somebody to gift you the money. What they're essentially going to do is they're going to give you the funds. When you get to the closing table and you wire your 10,000, they're going to wire their 10,000, and then here's the 20,000 we need to close. The
Okay.
gift is really easy to work with. So when we go to the person who's giving you the money, we just get a bank statement from them and a letter that says they don't expect repayment, that they're gifting you the funds, and yeah, it's
Interesting.
Story.
Okay,
It's
so
not a
now-
lot of hoops to jump through. It's definitely not suspicious. And I would say for most younger folks trying to buy a home, this is super common.
Okay,
All of
so
our parents are
they
kind of
usually, you see, wait, what did you say?
They're kind of loaded, like the
Oh,
parents
yeah.
are. Yeah, like they have
100%.
massive equity positions in their homes. They have good jobs. They're retired, and then the younger generations have just struggled. They got student loan debts. So yeah, asking Aunt Susie for 50 grand, go for it.
100%. Shout out to my parents for losing the house. Love you. So if my mom, if you're watching this, mom, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's
I didn't mean to air you out
sorry,
like that.
Mom.
Nobody come for me. No, so there, here you have it. So
Gifts
that
are
you
okay.
can, yeah, gifts are okay, and it's not going to hinder your application at all.
No, not at all.
Okay, that's good.
It'll help.
That's good. It'll help. I'm going to ask you this, and when I ask you this, I want you to know it's not a trick question, right?
Okay.
We're not, and I want you to know this is not a trick question. This is not, my stuff. I'm just the question asker. I'm not the smart guy. I'm going off a script. This guy is. It's not here. There's nothing on this. Actually,
It's just the list of
born.
questions.
It's born. No, he's not reading from a script.
Yeah.
He's not. This is all just lender information. So I'm going to ask you. This is not a trick question.
Okay.
When it comes to interest rates, do you think that they're ever coming back down, or are we lost? Is that lost? Is that truly just a facade? Like people are waiting for something that's never coming. What's your opinion?
I would say barring any black swan event like COVID, they're not coming down.
Okay. Why?
Because during COVID, they were artificially low. They didn't naturally fall there. They didn't want to go that low. The markets wouldn't allow it. The Federal Reserve stepped in and made it so. So barring anything weird like a COVID thing again, and the
Okay.
Fed coming in and saying, hey, this is what we have to do to stimulate the economy.
Yeah, or like
never
a major
gonna happen.
crash of some
Yeah,
sort.
yeah.
Where they're then just
Our sort of
ridiculous
natural
with the rates.
markets, let's call it equilibrium, is like right where we're at, 6 to 6.5%.
Okay. So this
Mortgage
is
rates,
just
30-year
fair.
mortgage rates, not Fed funds rate, not credit card rates.
And we're not talking.
mortgage rates.
We're not talking 15.
Right.
We're talking. We're talking.
But 2s and 3s, yeah, forget about it.
Let me ask you this, just while we're here on the subject, since I mentioned 15. Are there people who often use a 15?
Yeah, they're out there. They're a tool that you can
Okay.
use. It depends on what the rate is and if they can qualify for it.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are interested in 15, 20-year terms. The monthly payment is about double, so it's harder to qualify. Yes, you pay your loan off faster, but the monthly payment's higher. So for ratios, in general, the debt to income ratio, we look at your income, we look at your debts. A 15-year is slamming you into a higher mortgage payment. So
Okay,
it's harder
the
for you to
doctor.
qualify.
That's the doctor.
Yeah,
The doctor
yeah.
loan. Like
Yeah.
I have nice cars loan.
Or, yeah, like the retired person doesn't have a very big loan balance, something like
okay.
that. Yeah.
Fair enough. You see how you changed it there? Like, so that's for content creators who are doing better than I am. He's like, no, there are old people too.
Yes, yes. No discrimination.
No discrimination here. You're see, guys, this is a great dude, man. Drop his name there again.
Kevin Slicker.
Yeah, Kevin Slick Dog. He's the
Yes.
slickest. I think you should use that, man.
I
That's
should.
good.
I should.
That's good. And this is actually something I'm genuinely curious about myself. Because I heard about this. I heard about this all over the place, and I was like, "There's no way these truly exist. There's just no way." Not after 2000. 2% mortgage rates. Were they real, or is it a myth? Is that real? Are there people who have two? And when I say 2%, I don't mean like 2.5. I mean 2%. Did this really exist after 2000?
I have the lowest rate in my database is a buddy, and he's at 2.25.
Wow. Still damn good.
Yeah.
2.25, that is.
It's not two,
unheard
but
of.
yeah. I mean, what do you
It's
want?
not two, yeah.
1.99.
What do you want from me?
Yeah. It's really low. That's free money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's absolutely ridiculous. 2.2%.
2.25.
I can't even imagine, dude. That's just so ridiculous. 2. I'm assuming this was during the COVID.
Yep.
The COVID, yeah. So,
Yep.
man, what a world that was.
Rates were low. He refinanced to the lower rate, but he also paid points and got a lower rate at the time of the refinance. So for those of you, when you're purchasing a home, you can do what's called a rate buy down, and we can kind of go to that later, but you can also do a rate buy down on a refi. And he did that. That's why he went from, let's say, 3 down to 2.25.
Holy crap, man. And now he's like, yeah, I'm going to die in here.
Pretty much. Yeah. I've asked him, like, hey, you want to buy another home or move? He's like, no,
No, I'm good.
never.
I'm good. I'm good, Johnny.
Yep.
I'm good. I can't even imagine. Well, so this is the crazy thing, and I'm gonna go off script here for a minute. I'm gonna say this: when COVID happened, us young people, we were locked in our apartments with our roommates that we didn't very much know.
Yeah.
So, now we're stuck in a enclosed space with honestly a psychopath. For most of us anyway, unless you like your roommate. If you like your roommate, shout out to your roommate. Drop them in the comments. What I'll find him. No, but what was it like for you? You're a part of a generation before mine. So what was? I know you don't have kids yet.
During COVID?
Did you already know your wife? What was that like? COVID for you?
COVID for me, I feel like I kind of knew about it before it hit mainstream media. So my in-laws, my wife, she's from Hong Kong. So
Oh, wow.
They dealt with SARS back in the day, so they're very alert to that type of virus and what was going on. And this was like fall to end of 2019. They were like, hey, something's going around.
like
we don't know
we
what
need
it
to lock in.
is. Then it
Something's
hit us like in 2020, and I was like, okay, it's what we just saw overseas. So
You had
it pays to have friends in far places, I guess. But there was a point where like they were sending us masks, we were sending them masks, and it was really interesting. I would also say this is completely just my microcosm sort of experience.
Yeah.
But during COVID, if you all remember, you couldn't buy toilet paper. Everywhere you went, Fred Meyer, Safeway, there was no toilet paper. Being that my wife is Chinese, we went to like the Chinese market, like the like sometimes you have like Korean stores or Japanese stores like Wojimaya in this area. So we went to like the Asian market, the Hong Kong market in Corvallis, and there was toilet paper everywhere. I don't know what it was, but like people didn't think to buy toilet paper at like the Asian store. So if we ever go through COVID again, go hit up H Mart, Wojimaya, or whatever.
So good.
They'll probably have toilet paper.
Every Asian person watching this is like, no,
Right, yeah. They're like, damn it.
no,
This white boy's
ruining
giving
it.
away our secrets.
And this
Yeah.
is a roundabout way. This for all of you. This is a lesson in racism. All right,
Yes.
because
We
people,
need each other.
yeah,
Because
we need
people
each
need
other.
toilet paper.
We need it. And that's crazy, man. I wouldn't have even thought about it. I literally had an HK Market right across the
You
street. from
probably
me.
missed out
And
on
I
12
wouldn't even. They're like 2 weeks where they're like, oh man, we were literally like bartering.
Yeah, and they didn't limit how many you could buy. So like you went in and bought 2 packages. They were like, okay, let's ring you up.
Completely
I remember
just
Fred Meyer was like, you can only get one thing of
100%.
package. Yeah.
They were trying. That was the most insane part of it. I was like, guys, are we really? I was like, have we forgot how to survive?
Pretty much.
I'm like dogs out here rubbing their butts on the ground. I'm like, they got the right idea, man. Like we ain't gotta be fighting like this.
It's pretty
Like,
funny. During COVID, we watched that movie with Dustin Hoffman, and it's like about an Ebola outbreak. And there's like helicopters flying over America, and everybody's quarantined, and they're dropping vaccines out of the helicopters. People are literally like clamoring and just beating each other up and killing each other to get to the vaccine. And we were watching this movie during COVID, and my wife just starts busting out laughing. And I'm like, this isn't like a funny scene in the movie. Like, what's so funny? And she's like, is this not hilarious? Like, how ironic is this? Like, here's a movie about Ebola where everybody's fighting each other to get the vaccine. And she's like, here in America, there was like a politician dude that was like, These fries are so good. Don't you want free fries? Head down to your local McDonald's and get your COVID vaccine, and you can have fries too. It was like hilarious. Like you literally had to pay people to get a COVID vaccine, and in this movie, people were just killing each other to get it. So yeah, COVID was a wild time.
It was a wild time. I want to say the word propaganda, but I mean the media at the time. Now that I go back and I watch it, which is also crazy that we live in a time where we live through like pandemic media. Like we go back and there's like pandemic era media. Like there are movies about this already. it's absolutely insane. All right, Kevin. I think this is actually a really good question. This is the question that I get asked by literally everyone in the form of, hey, well, I want to wait. I want to wait. Why? Why do you want to wait? I want to wait because rates are super high and they're going to come low. They're not. Let's establish that, right? So we've already established at this point, if you're here, rates are not going back down. But now that we've answered that question, is it dumb to buy when rates are this high, even though this is the new floor?
No. I would argue it's actually better to buy when rates are high. So keep in comparison, like what we just came out of with the low rate environment. When rates were super low, every buyer who wanted to buy could buy. They were qualified. So what happened? Buyers would have to rush. They'd have to write an offer now, right? So like Friday, the home goes on the market. Monday, it's under contract.
Yeah.
Buyers had to waive their inspection periods. So they had to say like, I'll get an inspection done, but for information purposes only. There was no negotiating back and forth with the seller.
It wasn't like, there's a cracked trust and like, we're going to.
Yeah, and like, I need you to fix it. The sellers would be like, pound sand. They'll just go accept somebody else's offer. And then for the appraisal gaps, that was a crazy time too. So the home's listed at $300,000. The buyers at the time would be like, well, why is my realtor telling me I need to write an offer for $340,000? And it's like, well, when there's that many other offers in hand, you need to raise the price to be competitive. So you were basically overpaying for the home, losing your appraisal contingency, losing your inspection contingency. Like that was a dangerous time for a lot of buyers. Now that rates are high, sellers are feeling the pressure. Sellers don't feel like they can easily just quickly sell their home and get top dollar for it. So sellers are more willing than they ever have been to help buyers, i.e. give those seller credits or give those seller concessions. So now buyers don't have to worry about overpaying for the home, right? They don't have to worry about losing or skipping through any contingencies. So you have
100%.
all the good legal means of backing out if it doesn't work out, and you can ask for those seller credits. You can get your buyer agent commission paid. You can get a rate buy down paid for by the seller.
That
never happened back during the day.
I agree with this 100%. I didn't know of it to that extent. And maybe that's on my fault for not doing my research as a realtor. I should. My job is to service and to serve you to the best of my ability as your advisor. But what I see is a lot of people not realizing just truly how powerful your bid is right now, right? These people have this asset. They're trying to get as much of that out of this asset as they can, but there's no one to buy it, right? Finally, out of the darkness, you show up, right? And so
pretty much.
Yeah, and so you see something you don't like, you can negotiate it.
Yeah.
You want something, you can have it added, right? Because if they want it to go, they can't afford to wait another 70, 120 days for another one of you to show up. They got to make this happen right now. Otherwise, with where things are headed, it's not even really going to be tipping back towards their side anytime soon. Things are volatile, but in no way, shape, or form are sellers winning anytime soon.
It's still, I would say it's a weird seller's market rather than saying it's a buyer's market. But because to call it a buyer's market, we need to have 6 months of inventory, which we don't have. So
this is true.
It's technically not, a buyer's market. I get that. The reason why people do call it a buyer's market, though, is because it feels like it. It's the first time in a long time buyers have been able to win.
Yeah.
Sellers have been kind of ruling the roost for decades.
It's been a long time. People who have the assets have just been dominating the market, and it's so interesting to see it flip. Well, so quickly, right? So immediately that even realtors are trying to catch up to it. They're trying to change their scripts, and they didn't even have time to properly educate people because the market changed so quickly. And like you said, we don't have 6 months of inventory, more like 2.5 or 3 right now. And yet still buyers are dominating. Why? Because homes are still sitting for 90 to 180 days. And I'm not talking about shit poop homes. I'm talking about nice houses,
Right.
so, 3-2s, just updated, craftsman, right outside of the urban sprawl, been sitting for 85 days, just saw it this morning. So I'm like, man, that is absolutely insane, because that's a fairly priced home. And they just took 50,000 off of it, right? Hit me up. But, the quickest little ad right there.
Yeah. And we could do private showings.
But seriously though, guys, if you are between the age, would you say 18? Would you say 18? If you're 18 and you have the means to buy, dude, buy. Get it. Like we were saying last episode, get in where you fit in and do it quick.
Yeah.
Because if you can get in, you start building equity. So 100%. Again, if you are seeing this and you're like, man, I should at least see if I can get the information, because it's free, right?
It is.
It's free. Reach out, put you in contact, and we'll see what we can do for you.
Yeah, and to piggyback on that too, when you said, it's better to just get in, it's the old saying is true. It's not about timing the market, it's about time in the market. So just
Yes.
get in, ride the wave. Don't try to time it. You're not that smart. No offense.
No, because I do this every day. I'm not that smart.
And we don't
right?
do it. Yeah, you don't see lenders and realtors waiting to buy a home.
Yeah,
you don't
absolutely
like,
not.
oh, I'm going to wait for this. Like,
That'd be crazy.
We bought and then we refied when we can, and that's how it goes.
No, just be educated. Be educated about it. You have and I'm going to check you, Mr. or Mrs. or binary person watching this video. Educate yourself. You have millions and millions of resources at the touch of your hand, and you don't know
Yeah.
about what's going on. Whatever you're drinking or sipping or smoking. Like, put it down for a second.
It's like
Just a
that
second.
thing where they say like ignorance of the law is not an excuse.
Yes.
It's the
Yes,
same with
100%.
buying a home, and it's your finances. Like, take ownership of it and accountability for what you're
100%.
doing, and learn.
Right? Because I'm broke, right? But that's on me.
It's all because mom lost the house.
It's all 'cause of mom. She's like, how you gonna do me like this?
Right.
I birthed you?
She starts reporting
I
it
just,
just to take it down.
she's the kind of mom where I'd get there and like my whole like place would be all like dark.
Yeah.
And then just like a light in the corner would turn on and she'd be like,
Yeah, I lost what now?
I saw your video.
So,
You wanna know where I got these scars, Jim? Anyway.
I want to pull this in a little bit
Yeah.
because these tapping
Yeah, I was hearing them. They're tapping a bit.
Yeah. Let's just get a little slack.
All right. What do we say we do? How much money do lenders make, and are you rolling in it? What do you think?
Yeah, as a secret question.
No, I wouldn't put that as a secret question. I think that a secret question would be. Actually, do you think that's a good secret question?
I think
We'll put that at the end. And then I think the other secret question is why do people say own nothing and be happy? And do you think that that's where we are, or that's where we're headed? I think that's another good secret one.
okay.
And so then let's go. If you could tell Gen Z.
The secret about buying a home, what would it be?
Yeah. So let me ask you this. Kevin. I know that there's a lot of my followers are younger people, between 20 and 30. If I do have any Gen Zs out there watching this one's for you. What was it? I can't. 6, 7, yeah. You said it's in the future.
No? Is that what we're talking about?
I'm backed
Sorry.
off. I'm off the license.
Millennial here.
6, 7.
I don't get it. I grew up on 1738.
Oh man, I'm cooked. It cooked me up right there.
No,
Forgot my lines
whatever,
and
6,
cooked
7.
me. You can't do me double. Forgot my lines, and in the middle of me trying to remember my lines,
Right.
cooked me through my brain.
If you can tell Jen, let's see.
Okay, yeah. All right, we'll go back again. All right, Kevin. So I want to ask you this because I know a lot of my followers are young people. Somewhere between the age of 20 and 30. If I do have any Gen Zs watching this right now, this one's for you. Dang it, I forgot it again. I'm gonna just cut that and I'm gonna do it. Is the secret of if you had to say definitively that there's a secret that could help Gen Z in their gambit of buying a home, what would that be? Something that's not readily available to the people.
Give me their
I know
ages
most
one
of
more
it.
time.
I would say
Gen Z
anywhere between
is
18 to 25 right now.
18 to 25.
I guess that would go all the way up. Yeah, 18 to 25 area.
About buying a home?
Yeah, it's a secret that's not
Ugh.
readily available to them.
That's
that
tough.
would help them. Because I
I
understand the
would
majority of this is
say,
public information, but
Yeah, I kind of want to give them like more life advice than anything else, just because
this is actually good.
27, I felt like I knew exactly what I was going to do for the rest of my life. I was like dialed into a career. Absolutely did not pan out, just pivoted. So I would say from, my perspective, looking at 18 and 25s, you're looking to get your reps in. You're looking to learn as much as you possibly can. You're going to be tempted to go out and party and do all that stuff. Have your fun, but read the books too and pay attention. This world is moving on with or without you. And I think you should get familiar with the idea of like multiple streams of income. And if you love your day job, man, love your day job, do your thing.
Yeah.
But you better have some kind of side gig or a partner who's grinding it out with you. And I just think the younger generations are going to have it harder than
That is a
we
really
did.
powerful thing.
You're starting to see it in the millennial generation where it's like people are waiting longer to buy homes. People are waiting longer to get married. We're pushing 40 as
People are
first-time
doing
home buyers.
everything alone.
So yeah, and then it's like we have pets instead of kids, and then now the younger generations are having
Which can't
plants.
work.
They're having plants instead of pets.
Yeah.
Right. So it's getting harder and harder to like maintain a life of that post World War II sort of nuclear family. So
100%.
I think for younger generations, grind, make your money, have your fun, but you're gonna have an uphill battle either way, and just that's my advice. Like it's not
So
gonna
my advice
get
to you essentially
easier, I
is
guess.
shit is hard.
Yeah.
And for you, shit is hardest.
And you gotta,
And,
when it's
so
hard,
get harder.
you gotta pay attention. Yeah, like you can't wing it. I feel like when it's harder, like you don't have the ability to really risk it. There's enough information out there now where you can get to where you want to be, follow somebody, shadow somebody, read the books, do the thing. I think if you're kind of, I don't know, trying to start a business or do stuff I see a lot of young people like, I'm going to start a business or I'm going to do this. And it's like, well, why?
Yeah.
Like, what problem are you solving? And like, where did you get that idea? And it's like,
Are you
because
doing it
they
'cause you
love it.
want to?
They're doing it because they want
Yeah.
to. But I'm like, but the market doesn't need you.
Yes.
Going back to the first episode
The
of the
market
podcast,
is saturated with
study
businesses
economics.
that just-
If you're 18, 25, study economics and it'll change your life.
This is true.
Yeah.
This is actually really good stuff. Study economics. Economics.
Economics.
Economics.
It's like data and data.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
depends what part of the country you're in.
All right, I'm not from Britain. No, but if you, like he's saying, I fought it for a long time. I'm 28 now, so I'm just a little outside of that 6'7". I'm a little outside of it. But for you, like he's saying, go out, have a good time, meet people, but definitely set aside an hour a day to better yourself, whether you're a man or a woman or a person, whatever that might be. Set aside a little bit of time to actually educate yourself on something that's going to benefit the rest of your life. Economics or relationships or business, math, something that's going to make you money, right? And also, I think it's a really important thing that you said there is that people, the nuclear family, I wouldn't say the word is dead, but love has left the home. And so you guys, we're too old, right? Even me, 28, right? I'm single. I don't want to date. I can't see myself doing it, right? You guys are young enough to bring love back. And it makes it so much easier to succeed in life with two instead of one. Two
no
people
pressure.
with everyone. No pressure. No pressure. Don't start having babies.
No pressure, but
Don't start having babies. Yeah. But yeah, so again, yeah, life is hard for y'all. It's going to get harder because we dropped the ball 100%. But yeah, 100%. I think that was really good advice.
yeah,
That
I
was
would
good
say
advice.
if there are any econ nerds out there, like drop your favorite econ book in the comments. I'm always open to reading something.
Yeah,
A
me
book
too.
that comes to mind for me would be called, I think it's called The Otherworldly Philosophers. And every chapter is just basically a different economist and what they contributed to the world. And it's really,
That's awesome.
really
I'm sure
good.
Fred Harrison's in there.
It's a good one.
Yeah, I love that one. Love econ. I'm gonna probably read that this week while I study poker because that is my hobby.
That's your homework
Yeah.
for the next podcast.
All right, y'all. Now we're gonna do a little side bit here because we want to make it funny. We want to give you something to actually entertain yourselves with. So I'm gonna
Funny, but
ask this question here. So
If you're a lender.
So I'm sure that even if you aren't a lender, you can conceive there's a level of stupidity that is present here that can create very terrifying odds for somebody. So just listen dutifully and learn.
Yeah.
Learn from this.
My dad used to say there's nothing common about common sense.
What is the most ridiculous reason that someone has ever failed to close on the loan?
Yeah. Been waiting for this question.
This is a good one. These are always
So-
good. Horror stories are always good.
Without naming names, this was a loan I was doing for a real estate agent who should know better, who should be better.
You would expect that. So you're doing this for not for the
would
client,
think.
but
One
the
would
real
think.
estate agent themselves.
Yes, they're
Okay.
like, I'm gonna buy a home, okay? So
Alright.
they had a day job and they were doing real estate like part-time.
Okay.
So most of their income was from the day job.
So a halfie.
Yeah, so
Okay.
the real estate income wasn't enough. I couldn't just qualify them based on that.
Part-timers.
We do verifications of employment all throughout the process. We do another one towards the end of the road. But during the beginning and middle of the process, we kept calling HR like, hey, do they work there? How many hours? Blah, blah, blah. And we just had the most difficult time going through the corporate channels to get the verification of employment done. We finally get a point of contact for like a manager, floor manager
Okay.
person. Great, they verify this is how much they make, this is how many hours they work, okay, cool. So we get that done, we're getting the loan done, we're all the way now to docs out, clear to close, like they're about to go to the signing.
Funding's
like
in.
the consummation of the loan, like meaning I sign saying I'm gonna take on this loan, then the title company goes and records it with the county. If the title company had time to record it, it would have been, too late.
Yeah.
Well, we did our last minute verification of employment like we always do. And I don't know what this realtor was thinking, but they went into their place of employment and gave their manager some like attitude and was like, meh, 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 I'm out,
Yo, what?
like quit.
Yo, what?
And then that manager, yeah, they basically went in there and was like, yeah, I'm better than you, I'm buying a house. I don't know what she said.
Straight up, I don't even need this job.
Don't even know.
My
But
husband.
now, keep in mind, in the beginning, I was telling you we were having issues trying to get in contact with that
Yeah.
manager person. Well, that manager person is a smart person. That manager fires back to the person that had been trying to reach them and said,
Yeah.
hey, I don't know if you need to know this, but so-and-so just quit.
Yo.
So I'm at the office, normal day, we're getting ready to close
Nice,
this out.
I'm about to close
Yeah,
out.
this
Been
is
doing
great.
months'
Yay.
work on this.
This is fantastic, right? And I get an email from like the verification of in person,
Yeah.
like that was doing the
And this is a
verification.
title or this is-
No, this is a Movement Mortgage employee that got the phone
Okay.
call saying like, hey, I just want to let you know they
Yo,
quit.
shit's fucked up.
They send an email. And it's bad because there was like 80 people CC'd on this email.
Oh, God.
Like people from all different departments of movement.
That's terrible. You open it up,
And
you go,
I'm looking
no.
at it and I'm like, oh my God. And I'm reading it and it basically says like, hey, so-and-so quit her job. She doesn't work there anymore, blah, 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 blah. I call the title company immediately and I'm like, please tell me you've recorded with the county. And they were like, not yet.
Nope.
So then Movement calls the title company and is like, you are not released to record. This is not happening. We had to go back and forth with their employer. They definitely quit. They walked out and totally shot herself in the foot. Didn't buy the home.
Dang. What a
And that
fool.
was not days before closing. That was not
That was
mid-price. That
the,
was the day
the
of closing.
day.
That was hours before closing.
Which
Yeah.
you and this.
This
so
is
that
going
you
down
know,
on like the Hall of Fame, dumbest shit you've ever heard.
You gotta and wait. How
I don't care what loan officer lenders in the country. I guarantee my story will be there.
This is going
This is
to
top
really
notch.
expose the level of stupidity. How expensive
Top
of a
notch.
house are we talking here?
I don't know. I would say like maybe a $400,000 or $500,000.
$400,000 to $500,000. You
price
got
range.
qualified for $400,000 to $500,000.
Yeah, just drop
You
the ball.
had it. You were locked in, and you walked in the day of. And just so that you guys understand, this is not like well maybe they didn't know it was happening. No,
Oh, no, yeah.
They were well aware it was happening that
Yeah.
day. And
Crazy.
whatever was happening with that manager must have been more important than $500,000. I think I would have dealt with it for a couple more days.
Yeah, I just like, what can you do?
Yeah,
I
there's
remember
nothing
all
you
the
can
other
do.
loan officers in the office were like,
What the fuck just happened?
yeah, they were just like, Kev, like we're here if you need a hug, and yeah, this is the dumbest thing we've ever heard. This is crazy.
Let me
Yeah,
guess.
couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe it.
Gave him a call, no answer.
I called
Called the person in question.
the person in question, and then their significant other called me and tried to like ream me out like I did something wrong.
No
I gave them
way.
the facts and what had happened, and yeah, I'm pretty sure they
Broke immediately.
handled that behind closed doors.
Yeah. Let's
They were mad.
say the quiet part out loud. He went
I
home
was-
and was like, I need you to get out. I need to, I'm gonna, or better yet, that person probably came back and the door was shut and their stuff was outside of it. That's probably like, I mean, honestly, like if somebody put my stuff in jeopardy, I'd be like, look,
it's
man,
brutal.
we were set to get a house.
You're talking
You did-
moving trucks were
Yeah,
there,
we
like,
had
you
all
already
this
packed
stuff. We
up.
already, I spent months packed, all this days off of work and all, like I spent my vacation time on this for the year because we only get 2
unpack.
weeks.
Imagine that conversation. Going back to your apartment, passing your significant other with boxes because you're moving back into your old place.
Oh man, that's a wrap.
Yeah.
Yeah, because no, 100%. We are not unpacking this mistake together. That's for sure.
Immediate divorce.
Yeah. Immediately. I'll
Sign-
unpack this with
sign
my
these
therapist.
papers.
Like,
Yeah.
don't you even worry,
Brutal.
honey. Oh man.
So yeah,
that's
that said,
terrible.
the lesson is don't open up any new debts. Don't, if you're going and buying a home and you go to Home Depot and there's like get the Home Depot credit card, you get 10% off. Some people do it without realizing, and then that's like, okay, but if you start getting like an Ashley's Furniture, Kohl's card, whatever, Costco, those credit balances being new, not a card you already have, but you're creating a new one, that can hurt your debt to income ratios. And then if your debt to income ratios are too high, you don't qualify anymore. So I don't want to say it's like super fragile, but it kind of is. Like if we say don't spend any money, don't do anything, we're not saying it for our health. We're doing it to
No,
protect
absolutely
you.
not. Yeah, no.
So yeah, don't
That
be
has always
silly.
boggled
and,
my mind when they're like, when people say, oh yeah, they told me not to buy anything, but I'm like, you understand, this is the person who is in charge of you getting the biggest loan you will ever get in your
Yeah.
life. Why would you debate with
Right.
them?
The doctor's like, don't take off the cast. Like, who goes
Yeah.
home and starts sawing it off? It's like,
That's
but-
hokey poke bullshit.
It's- yeah, I don't need a cast.
My arm is jelly, it's fine.
Brutal. What does that lender know?
I don't mind having a 60-degree kick in my arm. They just want me to,
I
they want me to
I
conform.
watched a YouTube video on that.
They just want to get their commission.
Good question.
Oh man. Yeah, no, actually, this is
Save
yeah.
that question for the secret. Save it for
And
the end.
the little teaser here at the end, we're gonna like we always do. We're going to do some extra whispery, super secret questions. The ones that you really want to know, because all this is just fancy, schmancy bullshit talk for stuff that you should already know. But we're gonna give you the not public information.
Everybody just literally scrolled to the end just now.
They're like, what?
They're like, okay,
yeah,
cool. Go
the
to
secret
the end.
juice. Yeah, there's 2 minutes at the end. The secret juice. Just skip through. That way we get the whole content thing
get
as if
credit
you
for
watched
watching.
all of it. Yeah. So, is there? I know people have asked me this before. They're like, oh, what's the dirty details? Being a realtor, like what happens behind closed doors? And I was like, oh, that's interesting. Like we just do a lot of footwork. We do a lot of running around that you don't see, right? So when I ask this, I'm sure there is an answer. What happens behind closed doors when you're a lender? When are there dirty secrets? Is there juicy details, or is it really just like that boring? He's laughing. He's like, no, we ain't juicy.
Nope, nothing. Nothing
You
to
heard it
talk
here.
about
They ain't juicy.
Yeah. Yeah, there's stuff that happens behind the scenes. I think one of the biggest things that typically happens behind the scenes, I would say for loan officers, is like if you're doing a loan for a first-time home buyer.
Yeah.
First-time home buyers, while we love you all to death, we really do, because you're getting game and you're about to buy
Yeah.
a home, you're going to make money and net worth. We love to call you in 5, 6, 7 years and talk about how much money you made. And
Yeah.
It's great. We kind of love making millionaires, so that's kind of where first-time home
100%.
buyers are to us. The problem with first-time home buyers, though, if I was to critique them, no offense, they don't know what they don't know. So they go
Yes.
into it and expect, and sometimes it's like you bend over backwards for them, and it's like you can't make them feel bad about it, So like, I'll give you an example. There was a first-time home buyer purchasing a home in Eugene.
Okay.
My office is in Corvallis. But for whatever reason, they were closing with a title company in Portland. So we're getting here now to the end of the line and we're about to close. But I don't want to close late. I don't like closing late. It's like not a thing for me. It's a standard.
Yeah. Fair.
So they were like, well, the Eugene title company can't get the docs up to Portland to make it all happen to fund and record today. So we're just going to like overnight the docs, will close tomorrow. And I'm like, not gonna
Yeah.
happen.
No. Absolutely not.
So unbeknownst to everybody else, I literally get in my car. I drive from Corvallis down to Eugene. I go into the title office. I'm like, hi, I'm Kevin Slicker. I'm the loan officer for the such and such file. Yep. I'm like, give me the docs. I take the docs. I drive them all the way up here to Portland, go into the title company. Hey, I'm Kevin Slicker with such and such. Here's your docs. And they recorded that day. So
Holy
like,
crap.
how do I go to the first time home buyers and be like, hey, I just want you to live, like, I'm God's gift to lending, right? Because you feel like a D-bag.
No, 100%. You can't flex on them.
You can't flex on
Yeah,
them because
you
they're
can't
like,
flex on 'em. They're
okay,
like,
like
yeah,
that's a
sure.
you problem, not a me problem,
Yeah,
right?
I was watching Netflix with my family.
yeah,
Thanks for making me
sometimes-
feel like shit.
It's like, I would say for realtors too, there's probably times where everybody involved in the process, from title to lending to realtors, there's always probably a transaction that feels like a group project in school where like you're doing all the
1000%.
work and nobody else is.
Busting that ass.
Yeah, I think that's probably like a dirty secret where sometimes you have to step up and do more than what's expected. And in our industry, typically that's not appreciated. Those words kind of fall on deaf ears. And
They do,
I don't like
100%.
throwing it in people's faces, you know.
Because that's a lot. I want, for people
Yeah.
who are watching, because I
Virtue
know
signaling and
for
all, like,
whatever reason.
I do all this for my clients. It's like, all right, like, you know what I mean? Just do it.
Yeah.
Make sure they have a good time and a good experience and
No, 100%.
move on.
For whatever reason, one of the highest places that people watch my content is in New York. So
Oh, nice.
I have no idea why. Maybe people in New York are really interested in moving into Portland.
I'm from Jersey.
Nice. I did not know
Yeah.
that. Makes sense.
Go.
No, yeah, no, but
out to
so so I want you to understand the magnitude of what he just said, because Corvallis is not close to Portland. It's like an hour,
Or
hour and a half.
Eugene, yeah, 45
Yeah.
minutes from Eugene.
So 45 minutes from Eugene, which I believe is not on the way
No,
here.
it's straight down I-5.
Yeah, so it's farther,
I went
and then you have to
45
go
south.
backtrack.
45 north and then another hour and a half north. Yeah.
Oh man.
Spent my whole day in the car just to make sure we closed.
Just to
on
make
time.
sure somebody closed on time. And then this is
Yeah.
this is the best part. He didn't say shit to the client.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't ask for a thank you. Didn't let him know how it happened.
Yeah.
Just let him know it was done.
Yeah. I've
that.
also actually recently, you know, made me think of something. There was a real estate agent recently who was in a contested sort of negotiation with another agent. And the only way to make the deal kind of work, and this is like a whole nother podcast episode of like how realtors negotiate, but this
it's
realtor,
brutal.
this realtor ended up like losing and just kind of like giving up a massive part of her commissions to just make it happen. And she like swore me to secrecy not to tell the client, and I did not. But again, the client goes to closing thinking like everything just worked out perfectly, not realize they would have been mortified if they knew, but they didn't realize like this agent didn't get paid for any of the work she did. She basically just ate it
Just
to make
ate
sure
it.
that they were okay. Like there are times where as a client, like we're not going to tell you the nice things we do for you because again, how are we supposed to do that? So just be nice to the experts you hired. And
Yeah, please do be nice to service
The good
workers.
ones really are looking out for you. You
The
know?
thing is like, and I'll go back to say this again. There are realtors who are shitty people who are really just used house salespeople.
Same
like,
with
you know,
London. Same with
yeah,
London. Yeah.
there are used house salesmen and saleswomen, but the majority of us who are actually doing this job, we are service workers. We're like a server or a bank teller or something. Like you wouldn't be rude to them. They're just doing their job,
Yeah.
right? We are doing our job. It's just based on a commission structure, but we do truly go out of our way to make sure it's done properly. I'd be hopping up in the. Am I required to get in the crawl? No, but I have inspection knowledge. So I'm gonna go check those floor trusses. I'm gonna check the floor. I'm gonna go check up in the attic and make sure that the house that you're buying is actually going to stand the test of time. Not because I'm getting paid to do it, but because it's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Right, so remember that when you're talking to your realtor. If it's not me, drop the bars right there. No, but yeah, no, 100%. Oh, this is a good one. Did we already do what's the hack that smart buyers use?
No.
No. Okay. So then, I think we're in the last stretch here. I think we got a couple more questions to go over, but I think this is an important one. When we're talking about hacks, and I wouldn't call this a life hack, but this is definitely a money hack. Or if there is one here, because I don't know it on the lending side, what is a hack that smart buyers use to either acquire funding or to make sure that the loan is more favorable for them?
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the word hack because it's sometimes that can ride the line of like
Cheating.
ethics or cheating or
Yes.
illegal activity.
Yeah.
But I would say one thing that smart buyers know is you can buy multifamily with loan programs. Like FHA, VA, I'm a vet. I love vets. They all want to use their VA home loan, and they all just immediately go towards single-family
Single-family.
home, raise the family, do your thing. Not saying that's bad. I'm just saying,
Totally
did
fine.
you know though, like you can buy a fourplex with a VA home loan. That, now keep this in mind, it's the same loan. So that means you're buying a fourplex with no money down,
No money down.
no mortgage insurance. So you're living in one unit, you're renting out the other three, right? So if those three pay for, the
mortgage and a
mortgage,
half.
you're living there for free, and the day that you vacate, your unit becomes cash flow.
Yeah,
1,500,
100%.
2,000 a month, whatever.
Whatever that might be.
Yeah, so you can buy the
graph.
single family home and do your thing, no love lost. But if you wanted to get into, investing, you can buy multifamily right out of the gate.
Wow. And
It's a
so,
great way to go. Buy a duplex, buy a triplex.
yeah, no, 100%.
Yeah.
Get out there, do that. That's actually really good information. That's really good information, especially if you're, because it's going to be tough if you have a significant other to be like, let's get a duplex. It's going to be tough.
Well, if you're in an apartment, it's not a huge stretch, but like if you're in an apartment and you're saying to the significant other, hey, we're gonna move into this duplex, you're sharing a wall, but you were when you were in an apartment too.
Exactly.
At least now you own, and you only have to be there for a year, and
Yeah,
then
no.
you can leave and go do something
Anybody's
else.
going to complain
So-
about a little bit of extra free
Yeah,
money at the
you're
end of the
right.
day.
You probably
Yeah.
have a yard now, and it's your home.
Tenancies
You
in
can
their
hang
own-
stuff
its
on the
own thing.
walls, do whatever you want. You get a taste of home ownership, get a taste of landlording. But yeah, I would say
100%.
multifamily right out of the gate is probably one of the cleanest ways to get after it.
Now, that to be said, what we are not saying is that you can go and buy a 10 or 15 unit on an FHA. That's not what we're saying.
Good point.
You're capped at 4. Know that. You get 4 or
yeah.
less.
4 or less is
Yes.
considered residential. 5 and up is considered commercial.
Yeah.
And when we say commercial, we mean like a 20-unit building in Portland.
Mm-hmm.
When you think commercial, you're probably thinking like Fred Meyer or like
Yeah.
Harbor Freight, those kinds of
Costco,
commercial
baby.
buildings, like malls. That's commercial too, but in the lending real estate world, commercial.
Commercials, anything
Anything above 5
that
units.
exceeds, is it above 5?
5 and up.
5 and up.
Yep.
Okay, so then, once again, touching on that, just always remember that, so that if you are watching this later and go, well, Rose City Realtor said that we could, no, Rose City Realtor did not say that. We are not condoning you to go try and get an FHA on a 5.
Yeah, and
But
there
yes.
could be like a fourplex with an ADU.
Yes, that is
That's
possible.
technically-
It's not a part of the
yeah.
same structure there.
Right,
It's
right.
detached.
Right.
That's different. But yeah,
Good question.
great question.
Red flags for lenders. And then 2 secret questions. Yeah.
Yes, red flags for lenders and what's the red flags for lenders? That'll get you immediately barred.
What makes lenders instantly red flags someone on an application? Yeah.
Now, Kevin, let me ask you this, and this just so that everybody knows, this is if you've scrolled forward from the beginning, this is the last question before we do the extra juicy questions.
The secret question.
The secret questions where I sound like Morgan Freeman. So, is there a red flag that will immediately bar someone when you see it on an application? Like you see this, you're like, oh, dude, like blew up his backyard or something, or is there like a blacklist? Is there such thing as getting blacklisted from receiving loans?
There's not like a bar process. Like there's not like immediately you're shut down. But we do get trained on what to look for if we see something suspicious or something weird. So typically weird things that we would start to go, would be obviously any document that looks doctored.
Okay.
So if you know what a 1040 easy looks like and a client sends you one and you can't verify the social or
You're
the
like,
name doesn't match or like
what's
the
going on
numbers look jumbled or something, it looks like they made it
The
in a
font
Word
is a little
document.
strange.
Fonts
Yeah.
are weird, like doesn't matchy. Asset statements from an institution that maybe they can't translate, that's not always a red flag. There are people who have, bank accounts in Taiwan or something like that. So
Okay.
it's like, how do we get the traditional Chinese characters into English? Like there's usually a process to do that, but generally if you start to see all of these things all at once, like doctored things or
Okay.
they don't come into your office, they're only available via text or email, like, you know what I mean? It's starting to sniff of like, is there something weird?
There's something
going
weird.
on
Like,
here?
I'm sure that like AI has
Yeah.
probably brought this more into the forefront now
Right.
that people are
And-
like, oh, can I try and doctor something with AI?
Yeah, people still get punished for mortgage fraud all the time. And it's usually, I hate to say it, people in the industry because they know where the gaps are.
Exactly, so they know how to try and
Yeah.
exploit it.
But if you're a client and you're trying to get away with something, probably not
Don't
going to
do
happen.
it.
We
Yeah,
have really
don't do
good background verifications and everything now. It's not like the 2008 days where like we just needed you to have a pulse to get a mortgage.
Yeah.
Yeah, we check everything. We measure twice, cut once, and we also don't tell you if you're being investigated. So know that if you do something shady and
I
you're
was
going through the
just about to
process,
ask.
we don't say, "Hey, just want to let you know we're gonna press pause because we need the FBI to check you out." Like we don't tell you that.
Yeah,
we just make it happen.
We just
and
drop your address in
you'll
the
find out
comments.
later.
And then the FBI's like, got you.
Right.
We'll check them out. So
Yeah.
let me ask you this: when this does happen, are they're rejected for the loan? Obviously, you're rejected for the loan. If you try to commit fraud, you're rejected. Right?
Yeah.
If you get caught. So imagine you get caught. Now there's criminal penalties or just no loan.
There could be. I've never taken it that far, so I don't
Okay.
know. I have only reported one client that I thought was suspicious, and I wasn't allowed to, have contact with the client about it. Movement did do all their due diligence and compliant things, and they came back and said you're okay. It's actually like we figured out what the issue was.
Totally legit.
Yeah, it's legit.
Too legit to quit. Move on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. So then this kind of goes into the question there. Is there such thing as a do not lend list? Like you get this, it's like, John Smith. And they're like, John Smith was a terrorist from 2005 to 2012. You cannot loan to him. Does that list exist?
Not that I'm aware of. No.
Okay.
No.
Interesting. So, all right. So you're hearing this.
That-
If you are a domestic terrorist watching,
I was saying that realtor that I did a loan for
Yeah.
and blew up the deal. Yeah, she's
Yeah.
on my list.
you're blacklisted.
Yeah,
You ever come back to Silker?
I'm like, you're gonna go work with somebody else.
You come back to
Yeah.
Slikertown, you're banned.
Not doing
Don't
that
come
again.
over here.
Yeah.
Wild stuff, man. That's crazy. Because when I was in car sales, we have what's called the do not sell list, right? So you come up, and I only experienced this once, where somebody came up on the list, and when you put them in, and as when you're, because I'm on the back end, you put them in, and their name comes up red. And you go, what? You click on it, it tells you what they did. Guy was he was considered a domestic terrorist because he lit off a chlorine bomb in his backyard, killed the neighbor's dog. But that was enough for them to be like, you're done.
So you
You're
couldn't
done.
sell him a car.
No, he can't buy
He can't get
cars.
credit
He
cards
can't
or
get
anything?
credit cards, none of that stuff, because he's considered a terrorist by the state.
I'd have to look that up. That's
It's
very
wild.
cool. I
It
didn't
was
know
wild.
that.
It was wild. I was like, what? Because when they told us about it, they're like, you're never going to see one.
I'm over here like, yeah, I just got him a home loan. He's doing great.
Yeah,
now.
he's totally fine. Yeah, he's got a new backyard,
know.
lot of
Yeah.
divots in the backyard.
Yeah.
Don't know what it's coming from.
Yeah.
Looks like an explosion of some sort.
Not a pet lover. Wow,
No
I
pets.
didn't know that.
None that I can
That's
see. I thought he
interesting.
had one. He's got a dog bowl. Never seen his dog.
Where does that list come from for the?
I have no
It's like a
idea. I
national
would
database?
imagine it's like a national database because like I only ever saw it like when they do training for us, which training for salespeople is very rudimentary. Like here's the stuff. We'll see you on the floor tomorrow. And so you're reading through this, and I go, hey, what's this no sell list like thing? They're like, oh yeah, that's like for terrorists. Like you're never gonna.
That'll
And I was
never
like,
happen to you.
like, it'll never happen to you.
Next week, you're
yeah,
like,
it was like 9 months later. I'm like, boop, 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 boop. Okay, dope. This guy's gonna buy a car. He's totally gonna qualify. It's all cash, which is also strange when it's like all cash and he has the cash there. He had it in a bag.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, not the first time I've seen somebody have it in a bag, but yeah, I hit it. Name turns red, and I was like, I like clicked it to like be like, go away. I was like, why is it? And I clicked it, and it was like domestic terrorist, and I was like, oh. I was like, this is happening right now.
Jeez.
Yeah,
Do you have
interesting.
forewarn?
What is that?
I know real estate agents have forewarn. It's a system that I think is available through some organization. You guys have like RMLS or
Okay.
WBLMLS, but you basically put in somebody's information and it tell you all the like infractions they've had or if they've been arrested, if they've got like a domestic charge, whatever. So
Would that be
like,
connected to the residents?
no, it's the person. So you type in the person's name and it'll tell you anything they've ever been arrested for, what they served time for, whatever. So it'll tell me like you had a DUI, you
Interesting.
had a domestic abuse charge, and whatever. So like if I'm a realtor meeting you for the first time, it's probably smart to run.
No,
person through
100%.
forewarn.
If
If you're
there
meeting somebody at
is,
the office,
I don't have it
yeah.
yet, but I should. That is
Check
actually,
it
I
out.
spend a lot of time going into strangers' houses, so it's
Yeah.
actually probably
Yeah.
a good idea to have. So if you are a realtor watching this, You don't know about this. It's called forewarn.
Forewarn. Yeah.
I'm gonna look this up. I'm gonna probably drop a link or something on it when I find it, but definitely look it up because that is important. If you are a realtor, whether you're a man or a woman, you're going into a stranger's home. If that stranger happened to be, you know, a murderer in 1981 or something, you know, and they served their time, you should probably know about that.
Probably.
You should probably know about that.
It was funny because I'm in a group chat with a couple realtors, and one of the realtors was looking up my name and like other people's names to tease us to see if we had any record, and obviously everything came up clean. And then there was another realtor, she ran that realtor's husband through the thing, and he had like 32 infractions. And I was like, yo, what? So we started clicking, they were all for like fishing without a license, but it was still like, I was like, yo, your husband's a gangster.
He's just the biggest homie.
Yeah, 32 infractions. I was like, what?
He's like, I'm no buying no damn license to fish in a place that God made.
She cracked me up. She was like, I'm not gonna lie, that's kind of hot. I didn't know my husband was a bad boy. I was like, there you go.
He out there, he
was out there
catching
just
him.
catching fish.
No release.
Right.
No.
Took them all.
Not taking them all home, baby.
Brutal.
I don't give a curve.
It's hilarious.
God put me here to fish.
So we're moving into
Oh man, are we here? We're here. I think we're at the secret questions. Secret questions. So we're gonna whisper them. I'm gonna do them real dirty for you. First one. I'm gonna save that one for last. That one's the one that people really want to know. Let me ask you this: we're at a really sensitive time in the country and in the world, I would say. So I've heard this saying, and I want you to tell me as a lender if you think there's any credence to it. But when they say you will own nothing and be happy, do you think that we're already there, or do you think that that's where we're heading?
I don't know. I think own nothing, be happy. You know, I get where that vibe is coming from. Very like free spirited.
Anti-fascism.
I don't know. It's kind of like it's kind of Buddhist. I think, you know, own nothing, be happy. There's truth to that.
Yeah,
for sure.
there's two sides of it. There's a duality.
There's a free sort of idea there. I think if you, in terms of real estate, if you have a job where you travel, if you, you know, don't necessarily feel like planting roots is the best bet, then like don't do it, right? Just because you got an inheritance doesn't mean you need to buy a home. And even if your family's like, hey, you know, you need to do with this money now, you need to invest it. Like, you don't have to. Go travel the world, go do your thing. Like, you're only on this planet for a limited time, and if you want to own, own. If you don't want to own, don't. I'm not very big on pushing people into things that I think they should do. I want you to do what you want to do. I think one of the best ways life was explained to me was everybody in the world thinks they're a wave on the ocean. I'm a wave, you're a wave. Like, I'm here doing my thing and you're over there doing your thing.
Yeah.
The truth is, we are all the same ocean waving. Right? So it's like, it's important for you to just be you, whatever you want to do. You're a different wave than me. We're all made of the same stuff, but it's like, I need you to be you. I don't need you to be me.
Yeah.
So, like, how boring would the ocean be if all the waves looked the same? You know what I'm saying?
This is true.
So I don't want to pick an answer in terms of like, should you buy a home? Should you lock yourself down? Should you own nothing, be free? Should you own everything and hate your life? Like, I mean, do what you want to do, man.
Now, if you stuck together with us through this whole thing, we're going to ask the juiciest question. I would say probably if you would humor me, the wettest question that we have in this entire document. Because no, it's not.
No.
It's not dry.
You can't say wet or moist when you're whispering.
God, I would call it damp. It's a damp question.
You're all going to have to sign non-disclosures
It's
after the
a
answer
very
this.
dank question, if you will. And people ask this all the time because they think that once again lenders or realtors or salespeople, and so they're like, how much do you make? You know, how much? What's your cut of the pie? But it's not that way. So let me ask you this: when a lender does a loan, how much are you making? Man, are you pulling the wool over them? Are you bumping them? You bumping them?
No, not bumping them.
You slide?
Not pulling the wool over either. I would say a good rule of thumb would be, on average, a full commission loan officer, not somebody who works at a bank, probably makes 1% of the loan amount or less.
1% is fair, yeah.
So $500,000 home would be a $5,000 commission check.
Oh, yeah.
And if you're at a bank, you're probably getting a base and then some kind of like bonus, so you could make less than that. But
Oh,
full
so like,
commission
yeah.
loan officers, probably what we call 100 basis points, but that's 1% of the loan amount, and that is not subject to change. That's loan officer compensation rule. So
Okay.
to go back on why that is, prior to the Dodd-Frank Act in 2010, we had 2008 financial crisis. So
Okay.
if I could get you into an FHA loan versus a conventional loan, I would make more commission. If I could get you into a 7% rate instead of a 6% rate, I would make more commission.
So then
So I
you
had
were
skin in the yeah, I was
incentivizing.
incentivized and I had skin in the game there. I would steer you to one program or another based on how much I wanted to make off you. Today, if you get FHA, VA, conventional, it doesn't matter. Your loan officer compensation will not change based on the loan
So then
program
they
you
did
choose
away with that.
or the rate. Yes, they got
To
away
make
with
sure
it
they
to make sure that
incentivize
yeah,
people
because
to
and
take
that's-
care of the
and
customer.
that's where clients now say like, "Oh, I want to shop lenders." This is where that comes from. Because let's say both of us were loan officers. You go into his office and he says, I can do conventional 7%. You come to my office and you say, hey, I was talking to that guy, he said he could do conventional 7%. I'm gonna go, all right, at conventional 7%, Jeremiah's probably making 20 grand.
Yeah.
I'll say conventional 6.5%, I'll make 15 grand. So you would shop lenders because it was a way to keep us honest.
Okay.
So then if he goes down the street and talks to another guy, and that guy beats us, now you and I have to start lowering.
Now there's this like
There's a
war
downward
over how much
pressure.
money you're willing to lose.
Right, exactly.
And now you can't.
Now
'cause
we all
get paid
we
the
all
same.
get paid the same. So
You
it's more fair now than it ever was before, and you can just absolutely rest easy as a borrower and as a client that your loan officer is not pulling the wool
This
over
is
your eyes
interesting.
or doing. I'm very forthright about it too because I think it helps people like rest easy.
No,
They just
100%,
wanna
because
know
it
they're
makes
not
me
getting screwed
understand,
over.
you know, like this, because like I had that on thought process myself. I was like, you know, where's the cut of the pie for them? Because, you know, realtors, there is still that negotiation that you guys,
Yep.
you never see. You're never gonna see behind the scenes that when the realtors go to war, or what we call, you know, war, whatever it is, which is basically just this pitching match where it's like, well, you know what, I don't care how much work you did,
Yeah.
we're gonna have to take off 5% of your commission. Or a 0.5% of your commission. You're like, well, no, that's not why. We're not. I mean, now there's this fight that's going on, right? So let me ask you this: if we're at 2.5%, you guys are at 1%. Who makes more, typically,
Yeah,
a realtor or a lender?
Realtors like to think that they make more. They do, because on that particular transaction or on that check, right, they can say, look how much I make. But like for me, movement handles all my deductions and taxes and everything. You guys have your splits with the company or the house.
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
You're paying for pictures and photos and signs, whatever. So depending on how you guys are structured, some of you have LLCs that you run your real estate business through. I would say being a loan officer is way more scalable career-wise than
Oh, no, 100%.
being a real estate agent. So
I would imagine you guys can do way more,
Yeah, like,
volume. Like, 'cause
on-
I could,
on a monthly
as
basis, on
human
an
being, I can
annual
only do
basis.
like max
Right.
10 deals a max,
Right.
and if that's like I don't sleep as
You'd be
much.
pulling your hair out doing 10 deals
Yeah.
a month. That's 10 showings, viewings, that's 3,000 questions a week via text. So for lenders to do 20 loans a month, like I don't know, it's for me that when I was an assistant, I was helping my loan officer. I would just take ownership of, say, 15 files, and another assistant was taking ownership of about 15 files. So the LO, the loan officer, the lender was doing, right, 30 loans a month. And like, he didn't sweat it, but he paid us peanuts. We're just like the assistants and we're just making it happen. So for us to be able to scale that business is not hard to do. But the way you have to pay your assistants to go put out signs or whatever you're having them do and train them to do it properly, I think it's more advantageous to be a lender.
Oh, 100%.
There's lenders that like, I can't fathom it. There's lenders who do, 100 loans a year. And I'm like, oh man, that guy's crushing it like that. That's boss level. And then there's like loan officers I meet at mortgage conventions and
Yeah.
they do like 600-700 loans a year.
600 or 700
I
loans
can't
a
even get my
year.
head around that. Yeah. can't even
600
get my
or
head around it.
700.
And I know what they take home and make, and I'm looking at him like, dude, that guy made $870,000 this year on his W-2.
I'm just imagining somebody would like, at that point, it's like literally you just go home and like, you just like throw your fingers up and the computer just starts like,
Yeah,
just
you're right.
by itself.
It's
Like,
wild.
it's
Yes,
600
it's
or
wild.
700
And I
loans.
typically don't meet realtors that stretch beyond, I don't know, $300,000 to $400,000 a year.
Oh, yeah, no,
Because they're
100%.
limited and who
The
they can
most
hire.
dominant realtors in the nation do somewhere between 60 and 100 deals a year, right? A year. And if you are in the top 5% of realtors in the nation, right? You got to be well connected. You got to have agents who are working beneath you, who are doing the majority of your work. You're really just a mogul at that point.
You're like a influencer.
Yeah, you're an influence. You're like, I do a ton of, but you really don't though. Like you show up like once and like the people are like, oh my God, it's like Brent Fayez or something.
It's Ryan Seacrest.
It's Ryan Seacrest. Like it's, and then you're like,
Seacrest.
We're not sponsored.
Ryan Serhant.
Wait, who's
Ryan Seacrest is like the American Idol.
Yeah, he's the right. Yeah, I'm saying it's like seeing a famous person.
Oh, the real estate.
Yeah, no, I'm not
person.
talking. I'm not saying Ryan Seacrest is an agent. I'm saying it'd be like that. You see, because you at least for us young people, you go on the phone and you have no idea who this dude is. Leaves your house, you go on your phone, see he's got 812,000 followers, and you're like, he's famous.
Hey, shout out to all the assistants, TCs, and the people that really make it happen.
1,000.
I've always said, like military, like generals don't win wars, privates do.
No, 100%.
That 18-year-old in the trench that's just hucking grenades, man, shout out to that dude.
That's
He's
the dude.
making it happen. And I think a lot of the LOAs and the assistants and processors, underwriters, all the, sort of back end tasks are the ones that really make the dream come true.
They really do.
Yeah,
And
pay
thank
your
you
people. Pay your
to,
people.
To Nikel as well. This is our front desk lady here at England Vokers. Does an absolutely killer job. Thank you so much. Thank you so much to everybody who supports us and holds us up. Thank you. If you're watching, we appreciate you. You are respected and you are not forgotten.
I have an assistant. His name's Adam Smith, like the economist.
Yeah.
So I just like immediately knew we were going to hit it off, and yeah, he does fantastic job. And so I always tell people like I'm Batman, he's Alfred. Like he's the guy in the chair back at base,
The old
just
Christian,
supporting me, doing what I got to do. And it's
Yeah.
funny because he tells clients like Kevin's the doctor, I'm the nurse, and I'm like, nah, I like Alfred and Batman.
Yeah, 100%. We don't need to put
Yeah.
you in a nurse outfit.
Right.
Get me and you in a nurse
So,
outfit,
yeah.
a couple drinks done.
Shout out to all the assistants making us look good.
So thank you all so much for tuning in once again. This is Rose City Realtor After Dark.
And I am
Kevin Sliker. Thank
With
you again.
Movement Mortgage.
With Movement Mortgage. We'll throw that down there so that if you need to contact Mr. Sliker for a loan, or if you need to contact me for information on homes, you can put all that information down there at the bottom. My number, my Instagram, his number is Instagram, obviously the YouTube pages. Leave it in the comments, man. Did you learn something today? If you did learn something, put it in the comments. Share this with your friends and your family, somebody who is getting ready to look for a home. Not because we want to help them, we do want to help you, but because this information is valuable for your goals. And tune in next week when we go over some more juicy questions.